getting the right coverage for your home doesn't have to be one of them, so you can get back to more important things, like finding that missing sock. That's simple human sense.
Come see Burgess Insurance Services at 114 South Philpott Street in Cedartown, 770-748-4165.
The following is a presentation of WGAA Sports.
To the wall it is. It's gone! It's gone! He hit it on the center field fence.
Way back. You can put a stamp on that one and put it to the post office. It's gone.
Cedartown wins the region championship. Cedartown Bulldogs, the third region championship in a row.
Cedartown High School Baseball is on the Big Double A, 106.1 FM and AM 1340. Broadcasting online at WGAAradio.com and Facebook Live. And now, let's head down to the field for today's action.
Welcome in, Cedartown sports fans. It's a twin bill on a Friday afternoon here from Cedartown High School. Sam Branch alongside Andrew Carter, bringing you all of the live pitch-by-pitch action of Cedartown High School baseball. The 11-11 Cedartown Bulldogs come into this afternoon's contest looking for a little bit of revenge as the 15-7 Cartersville Purple Hurricanes were able to take Game 1 of the three-game series. And on a twin bill with beautiful weather, let's see if the Dogs can get the bats working. Andrew, these Dogs put up a good fight against Cartersville, but would fall by a final score of 5-1 earlier in the week. But it's going to be a different game for the Bulldogs today, as it looks like Cedartown will send Everett Perkins to the mound to get the start here in Game 2 of the series, Game 1 of the doubleheader.
Yeah, Everett Perkins, the last time he pitched, Sam, pitched very well, and it's consistent innings, so that's what we need from him today. We need him to throw strikes. We need him to be able to locate on the corners to get this potent Cartersville lineup. As you mentioned, the Bulldogs played Cartersville close at the beginning of the week, but the Dogs are going to have to have everything going for them, pitching, defense, and offense, in order to take down this powerful Cartersville team.
Cedartown comes in with that 11-11 record, 8-5 in region play. The Cartersville Purple Hurricanes, 15-7 overall, 11-2 in region, and in sole ownership of second place in the region. The Allatoona Buccaneers still hold the best record in the region with a 19-3 mark overall, and it's 12-1 region play. You have the Dalton Catamounts just ahead of the Dogs at 10-5 in regions play. So depending on how things go tonight, if the Dogs could somehow manage to get two against the Hurricanes, if the Catamounts could lose one, well, you could see a switch in third and fourth place. But so far, all the Dogs need to focus on here is just picking up the win here in Game 1 of the doubleheader, Game 2 of the series. I'll turn it over to my broadcast partner, good friend, and new papa, Andrew Carter, for the call today.
Thank you very much, Sam. It'll be Andrew Purdy to lead it off, the third baseman for the Cartersville Purple Hurricanes, against the Bulldogs starting pitcher, Everett Perkins. On a beautiful day for baseball, the first pitch on the way is ball one, a bit low. 1 ball and no strikes. Glad to have you with us here from Cedartown High School on the Cedartown Bulldogs Sports Network. Wind blowing in, actually blowing out from center field. 1-0 pitch on the way is a called strike, a high strike, but he got the call. 1 ball and 1 strike is your count. But it's probably one of our warmest days we've had so far for baseball. Mid-80s, 1-1 pitch on the way is going to hit him. So inconspicuous start, I guess you could say, for this inning, as Andrew Purdy gets hit by a pitch, and that'll bring up Tristan McKibben.
Defensively for the Dogs, from left to right, it'll be Peak, Formby, and Yarber. In the outfield, from third to first, it'll be Allen, Formby, Gerald, and Holiday. Of course, all red behind the plate, with Perkins getting the start from the mound. Cedartown wearing their home cream uniforms with dogs in script, across the chest in red with red numbers. And, of course, their traditional red hats with the white C and the black bill.
Tristan McKibben now at the plate. First pitch from Perkins is a called strike. 0-1 the count.
McKibben would go 1 for 4 with an RBI and a run scored in Tuesday's game up in Cartersville. He's behind in the count here.
Yep, he is. Stretching instead, they'll throw to first base, and runner is back safely.
Purdy, of course, over at first base. McKibben at the plate. Crawford is on deck. Cameron Cochran, the DH, is in the 4th spot.
0-1 pitch. Misses low and away. 1 ball and 1 strike.
The Hurricanes wearing purple tops with white pants, white numbers, white letters, Cartersville across the chest, as well as purple caps.
1-1 on the way. Again, missing low and away. 2 balls and a strike.
Good stop there by Allred. Great to be back on the air, especially with you, Andrew.
Yes.
I know that you and I have, strangely enough, this is probably the longest that we've gone without seeing each other in about, 3 weeks now. That's a long time.
I know, it's been a long time.
Typically, we see each other a couple times a week.
At least. Breaking ball misses low and away, and now it's a 3-1 count to the batter. Kibben with a hitter's count. 3 balls and 1 strike. But you know how it goes, been changing diapers. Well, actually, Christy does most of that. 3-1 pitch, called strike 2. Feeding, I'll say the feeding and the rocking and all that.
Well, let's just say this. It's a team effort.
Yeah, it's a team effort. Absolutely it is.
Good pitch there by Perkins to battle back behind in the count, 3-1. Now has a full count.
I appreciate you getting me out of the doghouse just then.
Absolutely.
Payoff pitch coming. The stretch, the pitch. Popped up right side. Should be playable for Jacob Yarber. He's
They had a
there.
good run on.
And the catch was made. The hit and run was on, as Sam just mentioned, but Andrew Purdy has to book it back to first base. No throw was made, though, so he's back there safely. 1 gone. That'll bring up number 24, Cole Crawford, the first baseman.
Yarber made a good play out there in right field. Purdy actually slipped and lost his footing trying to initially make his break back to first base, but it was hit deep enough that no throw there from Yarber, so Purdy is back safely, and this will bring Crawford to the plate. Crawford will go 2 for 3 with 2 RBIs in that Tuesday game.
He'll take 1 in the dirt, 1 ball and no strikes. Just looking at their roster, Sam, they've got a ton. They've got enough on their bench for a team and a half. They've got a lot of reserves in that Cedartown dugout. 1-0 pitch. Breaking ball, swung and missed. Good pitch.
Which really doesn't surprise you when you're talking about a team with the caliber that Cartersville brings back year after year, just a perennial powerhouse in just about anything that they compete in. So no surprise at all there with the depth of their bench.
1 ball, 1 strike.
Time called. Purdy back over at first. Crawford steps out. Perkins steps off, but now everybody's ready to go back to work.
Perk deals. Breaking ball high and tight, 2-1.
Tried to drop that one into the zone to get another strike, but that one just stayed up a little too much. So now Perkins will have to battle here behind in the count, 2-1.
I would think a fly ball would have some help today, the wind blowing out. 2-1 on the way. Fastball misses low and away, and it's 3-1.
Another good stop there by the Bulldogs backstop, Gavin Allred. He has been solid behind the plate tonight. And I think you can look at Allred's play from last year to this year, and you can easily say he is one of the most improved players that we have seen on this Bulldogs squad.
Without a doubt. Without a doubt. 3-1 pitch on the way. Foul back to the screen, and it's a full count again, 3-2.
I think an easy way to put it is that last year I think Allred went through some growing pains, of course. Last year we also had the luxury of 2 catchers, with Allred not starting the season off as the starter, but he would later come in about midway through and get the starting spot. Went through those growing pains and has just really improved and blossomed here in this 2025 campaign.
Here's the payoff pitch. Line drive to right center field. That's trouble. That's going to get down and go all the way to the fence. One hops the wall. That's going to score a run. The throw comes into the cutoff. They'll get to the throw to second. They will not bring him home, surprisingly, and a good job there to get that ball in quickly.
Well, if you notice, Andrew, he paused at second base, Purdy, because he wanted to make sure that one got down. However, from our vantage point, of course, different vantage point from the guy running from first, but that one was clearly going to get down and be trouble. And had he had his head on a swivel and been looking at his third base coach, this probably would be a 1-0 game. But
I would think so.
It's still scoreless with runners at second and third, but there is only 1 out in the inning. This will bring up Cochran, the DH.
Cameron Cochran hitting for the pitcher, Nate Russell. He'll slice one down the right side. That's going to drift foul. Strike one.
I tell you, Cartersville already with some very hard-hit balls here in this first inning of play. We may want to check to see if they're using the torpedo bats.
Yeah, I know. That's been all the talk of Major League Baseball these days.
Has it made its way to the aluminum bats yet? Well,
I don't know.
I don't think so.
Has it made its way?
I have a lot of thoughts on the torpedo bats, and I'm sure we'll get to that at some point tonight.
Well, hasn't made its way to Atlanta yet. That's what they could use them.
Have the Braves made their way back to Atlanta?
I don't know. We'll find out later on tonight.
Home opener against the Miami Marlins.
0-1 pitch to Cochran. He'll pop that one up right side. That is going to be to shallow, actually about deep right field. The runner's going to tag. He's going to come home to score. Throw will come toward home plate, and the runner moves over from third. That'll be out number 2, but the Cartersville Purple Hurricanes lead it 1-0.
That was just deep enough. Yarber got camped out underneath it. He knew that he was going to have to make a very quick transition to get the throw in as quickly as possible. He made a good throw. It's just it was just deep enough to score Purdy. So credit Cochran with the RBI on the sac fly to right field. That'll move Crawford over to third base, and that'll bring up Pratt, the catcher. First pitch tonight, 7:15 from Truist Park.
High and tight ball 1-2 him. 1 ball, no strikes. Julius Pratt, the catcher. Pratt takes in the dirt.
Of course, Andrew and I would be on the call tonight for the Braves radio network, but we had to fill in and cover the Cedartown game. So
actually, Ben Ingram and I flipped for it, and here we are.
Here we are.
High and tight, 3 balls and no strikes. I don't think Joe Simpson, he gets to pick which games he gets to broadcast.
I agree. After the time that he's put in.
Yeah, since
well deserved.
Yeah, 1992 all the way till now. 3-0 pitch on the way. Ball 4, and we're missing upstairs and at the corners with 2 outs.
Still a good pitch though by Perkins. Yes, you do give up the walk, but I still think he made a solid pitch there trying to battle back. So that'll put runners on the corner. Still 2 out.
15,
and that'll bring up Logan.
Number 33.
It's the right fielder, Braden Logan.
Logan would have 2 walks in Tuesday's game. He would also pick up an RBI on a single hit.
Stretch and the pitch. That ball is driven deep to left center field. On the run is Formby, and he's right there to make the catch, and that'll be out number 3, and he came a long way to get that one. That ball was hard struck, but it does find the glove of Samuel Formby to record out number 3. But the Cartersville Purple Hurricanes, they manufacture a run. 1-0 lead for them through a half inning. We're heading out to the bottom half of the first after this 60-second break on the Cedartown Bulldogs Sports Network.
Shop local and save big at Penny Pinchers. Cost plus 10% on South College Street in Cedartown. High-quality hand-cut meats and produce and low-priced national brand-name dry groceries and lots more. And while you're there, stop and get something fresh and delicious from the deli. That's Penny Pinchers. Cost plus 10%, 430 South College Street in Cedartown across from the post office. Open 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. Monday through Saturday and 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. on Sundays. That's Penny Pinchers. Cost plus 10% on South College Street in Cedartown.
Hey, it's the Border Mexican Restaurant located at 718 North Main Street right here in Cedartown. They serve a wide variety of your favorite Mexican food made fresh daily. Great food, great fun. It's great for the whole family. Come see us at the Border Restaurant right here on Main Street in Cedartown, or you can call for takeout at 678-246-1031. The Border Mexican Restaurant is the best Mexican food north of the border. That's the Border Restaurant right here in Cedartown.
Cedartown High School Baseball is on the Big Double A.
The Hurricanes strike for 1, but they leave 2 as they will take a 1-0 lead into the bottom of the first inning over our Cedartown Bulldogs. Samuel Formby, Ace Allen, Caleb Formby due up here in the bottom half of the first. That'll be followed up by Jay O'Neill, Gavin Allred, Dalen Holiday, 4, 5, 6. Bottom third of the order, Owen Gerald, Everett Perkins, and Jacob Yarber. An absolutely picture-perfect day for Cedartown High School baseball here on the Big Double A. We appreciate those of you joining us on radio, 106.1 FM, as well as AM 1340, and of course across all of our social media platforms, YouTube Live, Facebook Live, and the NFHS Network.
Nate Russell getting the start for the Canes, completing his warm-up tosses. Juez Pratt, the catcher, catching him behind the plate. The infield defense from left to right, Andrew Purdy. The shortstop, David Vargas. Second baseman, Tristan McKibben. And the first baseman is Cole Crawford. We'll get to the outfield here in just a moment. Actually, we'll go ahead and do that now. Left field is Nolan Elrod. In center field, Thomas Peters. And in right field, in right field is Braden Logan. And that's your defense for the Cartersville Purple Hurricanes with a plethora of substitutions on the bench. They got a lot of depth over there.
A plethora of substitutions. The Dogs, though, were not in a plethora of hits on Tuesday night, as they would only pick up 4 hits in the 5-1 loss Tuesday on the road. So the Dogs needing the bats to come alive, and you're going to have to pick up some big hits and score a pretty good bit of runs to beat this Cartersville team.
Samuel Formby leads it off. It's a ground ball nub shot to third base, fielded over there. The throw to first is a high throw. He's going to be safe anyway.
And listen, that was just a hustle effort there by Samuel Formby, straight out of the box, down the first base line. The throw was high. It did pull the first baseman off the bag.
Even if it's not a high throw, it's going to be a bang play.
It is, and I still think Formby would have been there. So Formby will be credited with the leadoff single, and that'll bring up Ace Allen. Allen was 1 for 3 with the lone RBI in Tuesday night's loss. He also had a strikeout. So Ace comes to the plate with the runner over at first and nobody out, down 1-0. Shows bunt.
Russell throws a fastball out, and it's a strike. 0-1. I thought it was outside, but it's called a strike.
It looked a little outside from here.
0-1 the count now to double alt Ace Allen. Samuel Formby, the runner, at first with a pretty big lead. The stretch, the pitch, squares to bunt again. Did he pull it back? Nope, strike 2. Coach Johnson giving the bunt sign early.
Well, I think you know just as well as everyone else, runs are going to come at a premium against a team that's as good as Cartersville.
0-2. Hit to right field. It's going to be foul.
Another long ball. Of course, you mentioned it a few moments ago, Andrew, but with this wind, anything hit up in the air and outfield is probably going to get a little bit of help. That one got a little bit of help, but in the foul direction as the wind's now blowing from left to right.
Yeah.
So a long foul ball, but it stays 0-2.
We just missed a double and maybe an RBI because I think Samuel probably could have scored from first base had it gotten down. 0-2 pitch again. Hit on the ground, right side base hit, ground ball with eyes. Samuel Formby will stop at second base, and 2 consecutive base runners have reached. Bulldogs with 2 hits, and it's 2-0 with nobody out here in the bottom of the first.
Well, they've already doubled their number of hits that they had Tuesday, and that's something that I just said, that they would need a lot more of those, so that's a good sign. We'll hope that Caleb Formby will be able to continue rolling through here in the bottom half of the first inning. Samuel Formby moves over to second base, Ace at first, and this will bring up Bulldogs shortstop, Caleb Formby.
It was a perfectly placed ground ball. They were able to kind of knock it down and let it roll the other way. They were kind of playing him up the middle, maybe hoping for a double play, but that right side of the infield was left wide open, and he snuck it through there for a base hit.
It's still pretty wide open right now.
Caleb Formby squares to bunt, and it's a strike, 0-1.
First baseman was playing in front of Ace Allen. I think he was anticipating that bunt already in on the grass.
Right.
And he'll stay in that same spot as he goes back to set up defensively.
Nate Russell deals. Bunt try, perfectly placed. Picked up by Russell. The throw to first. Bounces up there, and the run is going to score from third. It's still loose. Runners will be at first and third with nobody out, and the Dogs have tied it up.
What a way to bounce back here in the bottom of the first inning. Dogs back-to-back singles, then a perfectly executed bunt, just like you said there by Caleb Formby. The throw was in the dirt, got away from the first baseman, Crawford. And, of course, with the speed of Samuel Formby and Ace Allen, they decided to take an extra bag. That'll prompt a very early visit from the coaching staff. They'll bring in everybody from the infield, meeting on the mound.
That's got to be an error on Cartersville for sure, and that's their, although there is only one error, they've had a couple of defensive miscues with not only the throw there, but also the high throw to first base. Even though it was ruled an infield single, it was a high throw there. So the Canes, their defense kind of failing them a little bit here in the first inning.
And that may be what that mound visit about. Obviously, it's not about pitching at that point. It's probably just to settle the guys down and get them to focus a little bit more. They've already made a couple of bad throws, like you said, and I think they should be lucky that this is only a 1-1 game. Jay O'Neill will come to the plate with a chance to bust it wide open. Runners on the corners and nobody out. O'Neill, the DH here in Game 1 of the Twin Bill, Game 2 of the series. Long look in by Russell.
He sure was. Catcher setting up outside. Another bunt try there by O'Neill. That's fouled away, strike one.
Well, listen, we're perfectly content with playing small ball and just base by base our way back into this ball game. We already have with the tie there, 1-1. Coach Johnson said it worked for the tie. Let's see if we can make it work to get us the lead.
Well, Ace Allen, a quick runner at third base, definitely a candidate for a squeeze play. That one's fouled off the pole, so he's swinging on strike one.
He centered that one. I don't know if he could have hit that pole more dead center than he did.
I mean, the pole is shaking.
Yeah.
It's vibrating. No balls, 2 strikes to Jay O'Neill.
Got to protect here, though. O'Neill doesn't want to be the first out of the inning, wants to continue to roll.
Sets up outside again. The pitch is outside right there, trying to see if O'Neill would offer at it. He did not. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Very good eye there by Jay O'Neill.
Well, he's been around the block a time or two.
This is not his first rodeo.
1-2 pitch. Chopper up the middle. Nate will field. He'll throw to second base. They will get the force there, but the run scores from third, and it's a 2-1 lead by the Bulldogs.
But again, it wasn't a perfect throw, Andrew. Now, of course, he was rushing with that, but it still pulled the shortstop down to his feet. He had to slide to almost make that throw and hold the bag or make the catch, I should say, and hold the bag at the same time. So O'Neill grounds into the fielder's choice, and it will give the Dogs the lead, 2-1.
We'll bring up Gavin Allred, who most of this season has had a hot bat.
Allred was quiet in Game 1, 0 for 2 with a walk.
Allred checks to swing. He did go around, says the umpire. 0-1. We'll have Game 3 of this series, Game 2 of the Twin Bill following this one. Unfortunately, the same broadcast pair will be with you. 1 pitch. Called strike 2, got the outside corner.
Same bat crew, same bat channel, just a different bat time. Of course, our younger audience has no idea what that reference is.
They may have heard it, but they don't really know what
understand
it means. No balls, 2 strikes with 1 gone. 2 runs in here for the Bulldogs. We'll correct our screen scoreboard here in a moment. It's fouled away. We got the scoreboard on the screen corrected. Still 0-2 now to Jay O'Neill. Russell comes set from the stretch and deals. Missing away, 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Good eye there by Allred. Left that one alone.
Second inning score, Cass and Altoona are tied 0-0.
What you love for the Colonels to pick up a win over the Buccaneers.
That would be a very improbable win, but anything's possible. 1-2 is a foul tip. 1-2 now to Allred.
Cass, the 6th team in the region. They're 1 game under 500 on the season at 10-11 with a 5-8 mark in region play. The Woodland Wildcats also 5-8 in region play. And then you've got the Hiram Hornets 2-11, Southeast Whitfield 1-14.
Well, it's looking like that series next week against Dalton. Of course, we still have this series here, and we want to win as many as we can. But it's setting up next week to be a big series for Cedartown versus Dalton. There's a swing and a miss, strike 3, and Allred is down swinging for out number 2. We'll bring up the Bulldogs' first baseman, Dalen Day Holiday.
Number 9, Day Holiday.
Brings the left-hand bat to the box here. 2 outs, and Jay O'Neill still over at first base, reaching on the fielder's choice. Hit hard but foul down the left side. 0-1.
Yeah, that one was not far off from possibly putting another run on the board for the Dogs. He tattooed that one. And Holiday can get into one. We know that. He's got some power from that left side.
0-1 pitch. Popped up, left side. Will it stay in place? Third baseman's underneath it, and he'll get it. That's Purdy to make the squeeze for out number 3. But Cedartown scores 2 on 2 hits and 1 left as we head now to the second inning. Bulldogs 2, Cartersville Purple Hurricanes 1. We'll be back in a moment on the Cedartown Bulldogs Sports Network.
Bradford's Drug Store in Cedartown is your locally owned and operated Good Neighbor Pharmacy. Bradford's accepts most prescription plans, and remember, Bradford's for all your gift and decor needs. Bradford's pharmacists take time to get to know you and answer any questions you may have. Go by and see Justin Strickland and all the folks at Bradford's, and be sure to use their convenient drive-thru. 500 North Main Street in Cedartown, 770-748-3100. Bradford's Drug, your locally owned and operated Good Neighbor Pharmacy. Cedar Valley Golf Course has been the place to play golf in Cedartown and Polk County for 100 years. Locally owned and operated since 1924, Cedar Valley Golf Course offers 18 holes of some of the most beautiful fairways and greens in the area. Cedar Valley Golf Course is a proud supporter of the Cedartown High School Bulldogs and the greater Cedartown and Polk County region. Call today for tee time, 770-748-9671. Located just south of Cedartown at 1811 Buckhannon Highway. Cedartown's original golf course, celebrating 100 years. Cedar Valley Golf Course.
Cedartown High School Baseball is on the Big AA.
Two to 1 is your score as the Cedartown Bulldogs would strike for a pair in the bottom of the first to give the Dogs the lead as we head to the top of the second inning. It'll be 7, 8, and 9 due up for the Hurricanes. Elrod, Vargas, and Peters. Everett Perkins completing his warm-up tosses. Probably one more, and then we're ready to go to work.
Yeah, Perkins gave up that 1 run in the top of the first inning. Did kind of go full count on several of his the batters that he faced. He'd like to, I think, kind of limit the amount of pitches he throws in this inning. He threw 22 pitches in that first inning, 10 of those strikes. So we'll see if he's able to get his control kind of dialed in here against the Canes.
Hopefully it was just a little bit of first inning jitters, and now that he's seen that he can compete with these guys, he can go in and settle down and make some good pitches.
First pitch, yeah, strike called, 0-1 is the count now to Elrod.
We'll take that.
Nolan Elrod, the left fielder for these Canes. 0-1. Low and in, rather. 1 ball, 1 strike. Wind the 1-1. Breaking ball back to the mound. 1-3. There you go, out number 1.
You know, anytime I hear the name Elrod, it always reminds me of Frank Jr. telling a story about Frank Sr.
Yes.
Luann, your Aunt Luann's mom, Jean Elrod, worked at the radio station, but Frank Sr. didn't call her Jean Elrod, called her El Jean Rod.
Of course he did. Swing and a miss, big cut there by Vargas. Came up empty, 0-1 the count. Another left-handed bat, Vargas, the shortstop. 0-1 on the way. Bounced up there, 1 ball, 1 strike, but Jean was a peach.
You know, and that's probably one of those stories that I heard Frank tell one time 12 years ago, and for some reason I can still remember it.
Probably remember what he sounded like telling.
Absolutely I can.
The 1-1 on the way. Missed away, 2 balls and a strike. The 2-1. Grounded sharply, took a funny hop off the mound, and that's going to be a base hit.
That's a base hit all day long. Like you said, that just hit the mound and took a crazy hop. Caleb Formby out at shortstop still tried to make a good play on it, but just with that hop, it was difficult.
Up next, number
So Vargas will have the one-out single, and that'll bring up Peters. We'll wait to see how Game Changer scores it, but Andrew Carter and I both have it as a hit.
Yep. Thomas Peters, the number 9 batter in the lineup, the center fielder, will be the batter. Vargas at first base with a one-out single. The officials are talking about something. We got a timeout for, looks like an injury timeout.
Yeah, it's for the home plate umpire. It was either a foul ball or something that got past the catcher, and I don't know if y'all saw it or not, but afterwards he was shaking his hand, the home plate umpire was, so I don't know if he caught a piece of the ball or bat or what happened with that. But
well, he's off the field now,
yeah.
Isn't he? He's over in the Cedartown dugout,
yeah.
So our trainer, Ben Trude, is taking a look at him.
You want to talk about a heck of a guy. Ben Truitt.
Yeah, he is. He's the best.
We are so very blessed, of course, just to have that relationship with Atrium and for them to provide those athletic trainers for us. But those of us here at Cedartown got extremely lucky in the fact that our trainer is Ben Truitt, a former Cedartown Bulldog.
One of our other trainers, Allie Love, just recently had a son as well. She was there at the hospital the same time I was.
Well, congratulations, Allie.
So, yeah, him and Allie have kind of dual team it a little bit for football sometimes. But, of course, Ben is here most of the time, just about all the time. They're still looking at him in the dugout over there. The flag is still kind of starched out there, blowing from left to right, but it's not blowing nearly as hard as it was. Home plate umpire is still in the dugout being checked out. While that happens, we're going to step aside here for a moment, so we will have an injury timeout, but it's with one of the officials. So we'll be back in a moment. Cedartown with a 2-1 lead here in the top of the second inning. We'll be back after this on the Cedartown Bulldogs Sports Network.
Cedartown Automotive is your one-stop for all your automotive needs. For oil changes, new tires, or tire repair, brake work, tune-ups, air conditioner service, or repair, think of Cedartown Automotive. Cedartown Automotive is a longtime supporter of Cedartown High School athletics here on WGAA. Cedartown Automotive on East Avenue in Cedartown. Give them a call today at 770-749-5040 or stop by their beautiful location for fast and friendly service. And all the folks at Cedartown Automotive say, go Dogs!
Looking for a good used vehicle? Don't go out of town. Come see the folks at Dingler Motor Company, 526 North Main Street. Bad credit, no problem. Dingler Motor Company can get you back on the road in no time with their in-house financing. Top quality pre-owned late model cars, trucks, and SUVs. Stop by and check out their wide selection at 526 North Main Street across from Livewire Surplus. Call them at 770-748-0906. Search them on Facebook at Dingler Motor Co. That's Dingler Motor Company.
Cedartown High School Baseball is on the Big Double A.
And we're back here still in the top of the second inning. 2-1 is your score back after the injury timeout. Cartersville with a runner over at first and one out. And Peters at the plate.
Thomas Peters after the brief timeout. Looks like everybody's okay. First pitch to him is a bit up for ball one.
That
One ball and no
just
strikes.
missed. Good pitch there by Perkins. Just out of the zone, elevated that one.
Home plate umpire getting some assistance from our trainer after getting struck by a baseball. 1-0 is driven deep to left field, but it's going to stay in play. Connor Peak is there to make the catch. Runner will stay put at first base, 2 gone.
I'm not an expert, but it looks like that Perkins just hung a breaking ball that Peters was able to turn on and drive. Thankfully, just missed a big hit. So a long out number 2, and it'll send us back to the top of the order to Purdy, the third baseman. He was hit by a pitch and would later come around to score the lone Cartersville Hurricanes run.
Nice breaking ball, strike one.
That was really nice. If he did miss with a breaking ball on that previous pitch, buddy, he made up for it right there.
Here's the 0-1. Inside for ball one. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Looks like he was trying to work the inside part of the plate and get it to break over the inside part. Just didn't break enough. Now leaving up the count.
The 1-1. Ball 2 upstairs. 2 balls and a strike.
Looks like he came back with a fastball there, elevated. Out of the zone.
Stretch in the pitch. Swing and a miss. 2-2.
Big cut there by Purdy.
Big cut on a, almost looked like a cut, like a little cutter or something.
2 balls, 2 strikes.
It wasn't off speed.
1 on, 2 out.
Definitely had some cut to it.
Had a little juice on it.
Had a little juice, but with movement. The 2-2. Hit towards short, and it's over his head, base hit. Runner will go to third base. The throw to third is not in time. He's safe, and they're going to be at the corners. A 2-out single for Purdy.
A couple things happened on that play, Andrew. I think that's the first time that the hit and run has actually successfully been executed by Cartersville. Also, Samuel Formby made a well of a throw to third base, and that was extremely close. I don't think you could have asked for a better throw from the Bulldogs center fielder.
Well, with 2 outs, what do you got to lose? You know, if as long as you make contact, that's all you got to do. Because if you hit it in the air, it's out number 3 anyway. If it's caught. So first to third goes Vargas. Purdy's at first. Here's McKibben.
McKibben 0 for 1.
The stretch, the pitch. It's ball 1 upstairs. 1 ball and no strikes. We'll see if Purdy decides he wants to steal second base, maybe draw a throw or maybe a delayed steal or something. 1 ball, no strikes. The pitch. It's low, 2 balls, no strikes. The stretch, the 2-0. Ball 3 missing up. And he's a pitch away from loading the bases.
Yeah, and you don't want to load him here. I mean, you've got a 1-run lead. You've got runners at the corners with 2 outs. You need to battle back here and make a good pitch.
You've got Crawford on deck, who had the first hit for the Canes. There's a call. Strike went right down Main Street and got it. 3-1. Hitters count 3-1. Ball 4, that one bounces away. Runner will try to, well, he almost comes home. He backs up, and that will be